Hi there. Welcome to the Startups Getting Started Guides. I'm your host, Rose Serafini, and I'm a solutions architect on the startups team here at Zendesk. And today I'm going to be talking about getting started with support. I'm going to talk about all the things to consider when getting up and running with support so you can better serve your customers and save the valuable time you need to build and grow your business. Zendesk Support gives you everything you need to manage all of your customer interactions in one place, combining all Zendesk tools and channels into one platform. It's designed to be flexible and it works right out of the box, but it can be configured to your preferences as well. It makes support seamless, personal, and efficient, which means happier agents and more satisfied customers. Let's take a look. First things first, let's hop into the support queue and take a look at views. Views are essential for managing the ticket workflow because they enable you to create meaningful groupings of tickets as they progress through the ticket lifecycle. Because you may not be sure which custom views you'll need just yet, we've provided some predefined editable views. These views were created for the essential day-to-day running of Zendesk support and are based off customer service best practices. You can see the list of views when you click the views icon on your sidebar. Every Zendesk account contains these views to get you started. Since views organize tickets based on ticket properties, a ticket can appear in more than one view. For example, a new ticket can appear in unassigned tickets, all unsolved tickets, and new tickets in your group. This is because a new ticket meets all criteria for how these views are defined.
Now that we understand how we organize support requests, let's zoom in. One thing to note is that I'm going to be demoing the agent workspace. If you started your account prior to July 28th, 2020, you'll need to enable the agent workspace in agent settings like so. But if you started after July 28th, you should already have that agent workspace. So some things to consider before enabling the agent workspace if you've yet to do that. Chat agents are arranged in departments before the migration. Support agents are managed in groups, and groups and departments are managed from support and chat respectively. But once you make the migration, there will be no more departments. Agents will be organized in groups, and administrators can manage groups for chat and support from support settings, just to make everything a little bit more streamlined for you and your administrators. Now, for a little background on why we've updated our ticket UI. The agent workspace enables agents to work seamlessly across Zendesk channels, all within the same interface. Agents can use appropriate channels to address issues without being restricted to the channel in which the customer originally made contact. Agents can manage support, chat, and talk conversations from within the same support ticket. They don't have to switch between dashboards to view and track customer issues. They have a full customer-centric view of their work, enabling them to provide faster, better, and more personalized service. If it's configured, agents can also receive and reply to social messages within the agent workspace as well. The agent workspace is the next step to viewing your customer interactions as conversations rather than the antiquated ticket. And your customers will notice. Even if they're hopping across channels, your agents will be able to remain consistent across one user interface to solve their problems. All right, now that I have enabled the agent workspace, let's take a look into a customer interaction. So here we are in a conversation with a customer, and I'm going to draw your attention to a couple highlights here. So the first being that ticket conversations, as previously mentioned, can now include support chat and talk, along with social messages, if enabled, all within the same conversation. And you can see which channel the information is coming from here. Agent status, online, away, or invisible, and chats are going to appear at the top of the page. Your agents won't have to go into chat any longer. Agents can open up the talk console at the top of the page to set their status and manage any calls from the workspace. Their customer context information, including interaction history, etc., is going to appear on the right side, and agents can toggle between apps and customer contacts. To be compatible with chats and provide a more natural conversation flow, ticket comments are arranged from oldest to newest, with the newest comments at the bottom. And lastly, the visitor path shows a list of websites the requester has viewed. The interaction history shows a list of support events, which is going to be really helpful. You can understand whether your customers have already tried to solve their problem, what guide articles they've been to, etc. Great. Now that we got the basics down, let's run through a sample flow using the agent workspace. I'm a support agent working on my tickets in the queue when I receive a chat notification from a customer named Maggie. Maggie wants to know the status of her refund. From within the ticket, I reply to Maggie's chat and let her know the refund has been processed. I promise to email Maggie with the reference number. Instead of keeping her waiting online, I end the chat and I take a few minutes to look up the reference number for the refund. When I find the reference number, I send Maggie an email including the reference number and any details about the refund status. If Maggie has questions about the refund, I can use the talk console in the workspace to call Maggie and explain the details. Support agents love using the workspace because they no longer have to swap between support tickets, the chat dashboard, and their office switchboard. They have a clean, unified record of interactions with their customers, such as Maggie, to solve their issues. They can swap seamlessly between channels, picking the best one as appropriate, using chat for quick, timely, interactive conversations, and relying on email for longer follow-up communications, or using phone calls for urgent, sensitive, or complex matters. The agent workspace is great for startups because it really saves time switching in between different interfaces. It compiles all of your customer interactions into one place, making them really feel like a conversation. And again, I've mentioned this before, but your customers are going to notice when they are switching between channels and your support agents are seamlessly following up to their many requests.
Now that we've gone through the updates to the ticket user interface, the agent workspace, let's discuss some items that are important on tickets regardless of which user interface you're using, such as ticket comments. If the comment you're submitting is something you don't want your customer to see, be sure you're using internal notes because by default, any public replies you add to a ticket are sent to the ticket requester when you click submit. When you're submitting a ticket, there are some ticket statuses to consider. When a Zendesk support request first arrives, it becomes a ticket and it is automatically set to new status. When an agent is assigned to that ticket, the ticket is automatically set to open status. If the agent has a follow-up question for the customer, the agent should set that ticket to pending, which means the agent is waiting for more information from the customer to resolve the issue. When the agent is able to resolve that issue, they should set the ticket to solve status. Finally, after a certain number of days, the ticket is automatically closed and archived for later reference. Agents will never manually set a ticket to closed, which is why you don't see it as an option on the submit button. The bottom of the ticket also includes an apply macros button. You can use macros to reply to support requests that can be answered with a single standard response. As you open up your support channels, you'll notice your questions and which ones are asked most often. And the ones that can be answered by a standard canned response should be used to create macros. You can even send macros automatically based on rules you define in triggers or automations. As you get comfortable working with tickets, you'll notice there are different user types associated with them. Every ticket contains the name of the person who requested support, referred to as the requester. Once an agent is assigned to the ticket, the agent becomes the assignee. If an agent opens a ticket for a customer, the agent is the submitter. If the agent invites other internal users to view the ticket, they are followers. This is another great way for small teams to collaborate on problems and solutions. Now that we're ticket experts, let's talk a little bit more about users. First, be aware that the term customer is often used interchangeably with end user. You'll see both used in Zendesk Support Interface and in our documentation and trainings. Both refer to the people who use Zendesk Support to request assistance. Now,
Let's look at the Zendesk support staff roles. You know about the agent role. Agents primarily solve tickets. However, you can assign specific permissions to agents to control their access to the different parts of your Zendesk. For example, you can allow just a few agents to manage and moderate your help center. In addition to agents, there is the administrator role. You can have one or many administrators in your Zendesk account. You can think of this role as a manager of your Zendesk account. They set up your account with the channels you want to support, define new shared views, manage users, and so on. If you originally created your Zendesk account, you are the account owner. This role is the super administrator role, and you can do anything and everything that's possible to do in Zendesk. Let's take a look back at our views. You may have noticed that several of the predefined views refer to groups. In Zendesk Support, you organize your agents into groups. When you assign a ticket to an agent, you're also assigning it to the group that that agent belongs to. Agents can belong to more than one group. You can also assign a ticket to just a group and not a specific agent within it. Doing this allows the agents within the group to determine who should be assigned to the ticket. You can create groups of agents for any reason you'd like. Typically, groups are used to organize agents by specialty or expertise, such as product support versus advanced support, or by location or language. Before creating your groups, you'll see the default support group that you and any agents you've added are automatically added to. You can create new groups and add or remove agents from any of the Zendesk support groups. The default support group is there because a group is required to assign and solve a ticket. Being a startup, your team may be small, so you may be fine using the default group and working from within the unassigned view to grab new tickets. To help manage your support workflow, you can add each of your customers and users to one or more organization. You can then use those organizations to provide specialty support. The default organization a user belongs to is associated with every ticket they create and can be used to automate how incoming tickets are handled. Common uses of organization include supporting a service level agreement you have with customers, tracking and managing tickets by company name or email domain, and by location or language. You can also use organizations to trigger ticket ownership to a specific support agent if you have an account management type relationship within your team. You can configure organizations by adding tags or custom fields. You can also bulk import organizations to create or update the companies in your support account.
And that concludes our support edition of the Startups Getting Started guides. In this video, we went over ticket basics, organizing tickets, and users. When you're ready for more, check out our guide and explore editions. Tune into our office hours specific to startups and join our Startup Central Slack workspace to learn and share with our community of Zendesk startups. Thank you.